Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, joined this week by EZ.
Good evening.
Yep. And this week is a big week. Well, for me, I enjoy this week. With the tribalism of the internet now, it's not a big week. As a matter of fact, why would you be excited for this week at all? AEW is not having a pay-per-view. But the Royal Rumble is this week. And I don't care how bad it was last year, despite going in person. I don't care what company it is. The Royal Rumble is always one of my favorite pay-per-views that I look forward to the most. And this year is no exception. And we'll be doing our predictions for the Royal Rumble, as well as going over AEW Dynamite. But before we get started, unfortunately this week, Jay Briscoe, one of the Ring of Honor legends and part of a legendary tag team with his brother, unfortunately passed away. So this show is dedicated in memory of Jay Briscoe, 13-time ROH Tag Team Champion, 2-time ROH World Champion. Very sad that he's gone. Very sad that he, leaves behind a wife and 3 kids. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and friends of all who knew Jay Briscoe.
Yeah.
And
I've only seen him like twice from All In with a great opener match against SCU and G1 Supercard, despite the match itself was kind of overshadowed by something else, but still seeing them win and just them watching in person is just one of those things you got to see to avoid.
And what's really sad is you didn't get to see them when they were like the tag team. Everything that we talk about, that people talk about. I'm saying like back in like 06, 07, 08, 09.
Yeah.
When ROH was really rolling, everything that people think these days about, FTR or the Young Bucks or the Lucha Bros, like that was the Briscoes.
Sadly, I didn't get into indie wrestling until like I was in college when I went to my first Border City wrestling show.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was, they were, the people that have only got to see them recently, still got to see some great stuff, especially their rivalry with FTR and, but it's just, there's so much there, so much of the stuff they did in the early days of Ring of Honor. Jay Briscoe himself, a singles wrestler, he was the one that, he beat Kevin Steen and Adam Cole, both on separate occasions for his 2 runs as Ring of Honor World Champion. Had some great matches in Pro Wrestling Noah. So he will definitely be missed from the wrestling fans, but also from, what's been said. He's going to be missed by his comrades in the locker room, more importantly. And also, more importantly than that, his family.
Yeah.
So,
we'll miss you, man.
If you've never seen this show before, this is the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I'm at Easy at All In. We love wrestling. We love talking wrestling. We love sharing our love of pro wrestling with each and every one of you out there. However, just like each and every one of you out there, we're just fans. Our opinions of that of any other fans. We avoid insider terms because we're not insiders. We're not wrestlers. We are just marks. And yeah, Royal Rumble. So far, 5 matches have been announced. And we're going to do our predictions for them right now. The first match, according to Wikipedia, is for the Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss. Who have you got in line this one?
I just have a funny feeling it's going to be Bianca winning this, and especially with some slight interference or a possible appearance from Uncle Howdy, because, you know what, we've already been too emotional today. It's not worth talking about it. So, Bianca for the win.
Yeah, I feel like Bianca is going to be having a 1-year reign or close to it going into WrestleMania. So I'm going Bianca to retain as well. Next match, according to Wikipedia, and this is probably not going to be the order, this is just Wikipedia's, for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, Kevin Owens versus the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Who you picking and why in this one?
I I really want to see Kevin Owens win this one. Like, it's just the whole setup between this rivalry is pretty amazing. But I know deep down, it's gonna be Roman somehow because they want to hype this up to WrestleMania against somebody. I don't know who, because I'm not 100% saying it's going to be a certain somebody we'll get to later, but it's going to be Roman, unfortunately, just personally.
It's got to be. To end this reign, you need to do it at WrestleMania. WrestleMania or SummerSlam, you don't need to do it at the Royal Rumble. You don't need to do it at the Royal Rumble where it's going to be overshadowed by a winner, possibly the winner of the Rumble, possibly. So, feel like you got to go with Roman Reigns in this one. The Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight. I'm picking Bray Wyatt.
What the fuck is a pitch black match?
I don't know.
So it's a lights out match, basically.
I don't know. I don't. There's stuff I like about Bray's return. There's stuff I don't like about Bray's return. But I do feel like it's time. It's time to. You know.
I mean, we could have. I mean, maybe he might be, but we could have had him in the Royal Rumble or something. Frankly,
do you want to? No. I'm gonna stop you there real quick. Do you want to put him in the Royal Rumble if there's a chance he might not win it?
I mean, personally, I would push him more than I would push Cody Rhodes.
Really now?
Really, that's just my personal opinion.
So you okay? I'm just saying. So you would like this whole I want to be the champion and recovering from an injury. You think that should possibly take a back seat to Bray Wyatt?
Well, how is it because Cody has been out for 9 months that automatically we believe, okay, I think he should beat Roman and then probably get his ass beat up?
Well, for starters, because his sole intention was, I want to come back and be the champion. And you have a good ready-made story with that if they so choose to go with that. And he's also significantly more popular and fits that role better than Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, this might be considered a hot take. I don't think Bray Wyatt should ever be the champion. Because that's not really... Why would Bray Wyatt concern himself with a belt? Like, I said that even like when he won it the first time. It's like, why is Bray Wyatt concerned with a belt? He wants to... Destruction. Mind games. You know, it's... Bray Wyatt is better not being champion because then you can use him more in, like, the monster role to be a monster that's more concerned with just harming his opponent than being concerned with, you know, things like championships. It's kind of like what they did.
I will be frank that his title runs were through bad booking. Like, I will be honest. Like, when he finally won the World Championship, only to lose it in Mania to Randy Orton in the weirdest way possible because fuck logic. Like, that one stung. And then when he finally, like, became Universal Champion as The Fiend, it was like, I thought it was, like, amazing. Like, yes, finally we got champ. And then he loses to Goldberg in squashing fashion in Saudi Arabia because fuck our logic.
And you know, as cool as that was, and you know, at the time I'm like, all right, they're using him. It's just kind of like, well,
I think this time it can just finally be used
Bray Wyatt
without the interference of what Vinnie Mac is going to do.
Well, right now, Vinnie Mac has no real control over the product. I mean, how long that lasts, we don't know. But right now, we're seeing very much a Triple H-led product still. Now, whether or not that changes at this pay-per-view remains to be seen. But Bray Wyatt is like somebody who's kind of like the... Let me put it to you this way. As pissed off as we were about Goldberg winning that belt, Bray Wyatt was significantly better served in the Firefly Funhouse match against John Cena at that WrestleMania than he would have been against Roman or Strowman. And Roman, Strowman, and Roman, 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 Ro defending the Universal Championship?
Well, we don't know. We will never know.
But I'm going Bray Wyatt. You know, you got to still make Bray look good.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt, because just...
You got to make him look good for this one.
But as much as I love LA Knight, it's going to be Wyatt.
Yeah. All right, Women's Royal Rumble match. So far, the female participants have been announced as Emma, Zelina Vega, Shayna Baszler, Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, and Liv Morgan. There's bound to be others. Possibilities are endless. But who you picking and why?
I have a funny feeling that even though they're not announced, and frankly, I like when Royal Rumbles are not saying I'm declaring myself for such and such. I like the surprises, especially when we have legends trying to get involved, which gotta miss those. I have a funny feeling it's going to be either Charlotte, unfortunately.
She's the champion.
Never mind. I have a funny feeling it's going to be Ronda Rousey. I feel like she's going to make her comeback here. I don't know if she's like still injured or if she's just taking sabbatical. Again, I've gone to the point where I've been on the casual side on following WWE lately. So
I'm going with a name that has been announced. I'm going with Rhea Ripley. I feel like you could really do a good thing with her and Bianca. And, you know, it's right there.
Yeah. Actually, wait, why doesn't Charlotte have a match? That's interesting.
I'm pretty sure they'll announce one later. So.
Yeah. Please.
All right, and then the Men's Royal Rumble match. So far announced, we have Kofi Kingston, Santos Escobar, Ricochet, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, Rey Mysterio, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, Omos, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Karrion Kross. Who are you picking in this one?
All right, this one, again, could be a good build for it. It's somebody who's not announced, and I legitimately believe he will be the number 30, Sami Zayn.
That's who I'm going with. I'm going either Sami Zayn or if he's... Because... And the only reason I'm going with Sami Zayn is as good as WWE's been the last couple months, I still don't trust them to make the right calls when it's like right there staring them in the face and they're not going to go with Cody because they won't do it the right thing that's staring them right in the face. I'm thinking it's either going to be Sami Zayn or I feel like these rumors that The Rock are not involved, it could be a smokescreen. It could still be The Rock.
Please, no.
Why not? Like, why would The Rock be bad? Why would The Rock be bad? Why would The Rock be bad? I want to hear it.
Okay, bringing The Rock back would be okay, but why do you need him to win the Royal Rumble?
To challenge for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Why not Cody or Sami? My idea.
I'd rather see Cody or Sami, but I want to hear, other than Smart Mark cynicism, what would be bad about The Rock showing up? Other than the whole IWC, this is not, you know, this isn't. What is a bad thing for the pay-per-view, the spectacle, and buzz? What is wrong with it?
What left does The Rock have to prove? He already had the once-in-a-lifetime, twice, match against John Cena.
Wrestle his family and continue to add to the legacy of Roman Reigns, which would only be bigger. Put the biggest star, literally the biggest star in Hollywood, against the biggest star in your company. I'm not saying I want to see it. I'm just saying, like, you know, the only people that say it's a bad idea are the internet. Because anything that isn't, you know, in this bubble is apparently bad.
Like, my idea for the main event is, like, look, okay, we get it. We're going back to Los Angeles. We're going to Hollywood, but doesn't mean we have to have a Hollywood style kind of match. We kind of had that in WrestleMania 21 without any celebrity involvements, minus the Big Show fighting a sumo wrestler. But either way, my idea for the main event would have been Sami wins, and we can get Sami versus Roman versus Cody.
That's
I could
overcomplicating
still put
it.
Cody in this matchup here.
No, that would be overcomplicating it. That'd be overcomplicating it. When Cody wins, he needs to win decisively. There needs to be like no other.
All right, Cody wins an Elimination Chamber match, and he's in the match.
Yeah.
That's sometimes been the logic that WWE has gone with.
Yeah, and it's bad logic. That's bad logic. I'm just saying in general. I am saying like what is
logic here?
I am saying what is wrong with The Rock? What is wrong with The Rock other than I am an internet fan, and that anything like that is bad. People like The Rock. Lapsed people will go like, "Oh, The Rock's back." Inconvenient truth for a lot of people, because I know when I said I liked the Stone Cold coming back last year, I got told that I was an idiot wrestling, an idiot not worthy of being a wrestling fan, because how dare you like that? Kevin Owens could have main evented against somebody else, man. What is wrong with that? Because I hate to tell you this, WrestleMania is about a spectacle, not about wrestling. And could the spectacle still, would I rather see Cody Rhodes get his moment as a Cody fan? Of course I would. Would I rather see Sami Zayn? Of course I would. But do I see that there's a good reason to put The Rock in there? You bet your ass I do. You bet your ass.
We might as well have a part 4 of Stone Cold and The Rock.
Why?
We're going to go there.
No. No. Because, well, one, we've seen that match. We haven't seen Roman and The Rock. And with the whole, I'm the head of the table and The Rock's the biggest star, that's a fresh matchup. And there's a person, you could tell a good story that it won't be considered a good story in the IWC, but because reasons. But you could tell a good story with The Rock if they so choose to go with The Rock. According to the internet, he's not able to show up. That could very well be true, but we also heard that William Regal was, staying with AEW too, so it's very hit and miss what internet reports. What's true, what's not true, what's right and what's wrong. But no, my pick is going to be Sami Zayn. But if The Rock is in that match, he wins. I will put that caveat: if this is a smokescreen and The Rock is there, he will win the Royal Rumble. Alright, so now it's time to talk Dynamite.
No, we already said the women's. Never mind.
Yeah.
Set a mind fart for a moment.
First match was for the most pointless championship in AEW. It is, so don't fucking at me. It's stupid and pointless.
It still is.
Yep. Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal. This was a good match.
Despite the championship stipulations, I actually enjoyed this.
It was a good match. It just the belt is stupid.
I was at a hockey game, but I was actually able to watch this on my phone because a friend of mine actually bought tickets from a suite, no less. I was like, okay, so that's sweet. I was able to just watch the game and then put my phone on the desk and watch Dynamite.
Yeah.
And I like this match.
Yeah, I like this match. Still couldn't care less about Jeff Jarrett, but
I'm just wondering, it's is Sanya Singh gonna turn on these guys? It's
I didn't get that vibe at all.
Yeah. I mean, I know they said his career was on the line or something. It's if they get involved, he's fired. Blah blah blah. But it's
yeah, they weren't allowed to interfere. But
yeah,
it was Sanjay's would be fired if they interfered.
Okay, that's what the situation is.
All right, so
I will be honest. I laughed way too hard just watching Danhausen steal Jeff Jarrett's guitar.
All right,
I liked it.
Next up, we have the Young Bucks versus Top Flight. It was okay. Not my style of wrestling, so I'm going to concede a bias there that this match is just not something that tickles my fancy. So, rather than act like, oh, this sucked because I didn't like it. I'm just going to say that this is not my style, so I didn't like it as much as other people might. I am glad that Top Flight won. Very happy to see that.
That's a big upset there. Like, whoa.
Yeah. Guess the Young Bucks heard me comparing them to Cody Rhodes, and they realized, oh no. Or I shouldn't say compare them to Cody Rhodes. Comparing the hypocrisy of saying that they're allowed to get away with this. It's like, oh God, we gotta do something now about it.
Watch your words be used for BTE.
No, I don't watch BTE, so that's irrelevant to me. All right. Ricky Starks wrestled Jake Hager with his hat.
It was funny for a while, but now the hat thing's just getting...
Oh, I still think it's hilarious. I love the fact that he hits lower third with hat. Love it. Starks win, which was a good call match. But that's not because of Ricky Starks. It was because of... Before this, got a little ahead of myself. There were some promos with the wrestlers. The Acclaimed said there's going to be family therapy next week with the Ass Boys and the Acclaimed. Old Daddy Ass himself said that.
Where do I get the feeling we're going to have Jerry Springer involved?
I mean, it's... Look, I'm not going to say that the Gun Club they've gotten better, and they are in a position...
Yeah, they've gotten better, but...
They're in a position, but, I still kind of... I kind of got over this program a few months ago before the Acclaim got the tag belts, so... The idea of the Gun Club getting a tag title shot, to me, is speaking to how much the tag division and the has kind of fallen off a bit. Like, it used to be the best tag team division in wrestling, and now it's just kind of like, the champs are good. The 6-man titles have muddied that up, but they're whatever. Like, it's a mess. I know I'm not allowed to say that, but it's a fucking mess. Hey,
as much as a mess of the women's division. Hello.
Well, more on that later.
Yeah.
Maybe some good things, though. Hangman was also backstage and said he had some fences to mend. I think we all know he's talking about the Elite. Okay, cool. I like Hangman on his own without the Elite. I get that people want to see him back together. So I'm not going to, unlike with everybody bitching about The Rock, I'm going to say not something I'm particularly fond of seeing, but I get why they want to do it. You see how that's done? You see how you can do something like that? Yeah. I don't know. Do you want to see Hangman back with the Elite, or do you want to see him on his own?
I kind of want to see him on his own at this point, because I just don't know what his purpose would be to rejoin the Elite. He said he wanted to be on his own. Okay, let him be on his own.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hell, for all I care, have a Ring of Honor title shot somewhere, for all I care.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Rebuild that brand again.
I'm just going to come out and say it. Hangman's bigger than Ring of Honor right now. So...
I mean, we could put him as the Ring of Honor World Champ, but again, that's just putting it out
okay,
there.
Let me. Okay, here's a good way of putting it for you. You're Alabama, roll tide till you die, right?
Sure.
Okay. So there's nothing wrong with the bowl game that Alabama went to, but didn't you feel empty this year? Because you're Alabama. You should be in the playoffs, right? Okay, that's kind of how I'm feeling. That's kind of how I'm feeling about Hangman. It's like, okay, he's kind of bigger than having to settle for a bowl.
So should we have an AEW World Belt and then an AEW Universal Belt?
No, I'm just saying, like, he needs to stay.
No.
He needs to stay on the AEW brand and feud with top guys in AEW, and that's a bigger deal than going to something lesser, despite there being a trophy involved. Not there's anything wrong with the trophy involved, but right now, Hangman Page is in that position where he needs to be feuding with your Moxleys. There's money in him going after MJF. There's, you know, story like him and Jericho. There's something you could do there. Something you can do with Jericho there. There's stuff you could do with...
You got Hangman Jericho and then the JES against Dark Order if they want to rebuild themselves.
Yeah. So putting him on the Ring of Honor brand, you know, which could be rebuilt back up. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Just like there was probably, you know, nothing wrong with whatever bowl game Alabama played in.
Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, so nothing wrong with that game, but when you're kind of on the level Alabama is, you're not thinking Sugar Bowl anymore. You're thinking whatever bowl game is the playoff game, and that's all you're thinking about. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about with Hangman. He needs to be competing against top names, which is a bigger deal than going to Ring of Honor right now. Next match was great. It was Bryan Danielson versus Bandito. I love this match.
Oh my god. This is one of those matches where it's like, this is still going on? It's like, I loved this.
Yeah. Bryan Danielson wins and is continuing his his march to MJF. I like how they're doing this. This is basically a good logical way for them to have Bryan Danielson wrestle a bunch of people and have good matches with them, and I am for that. I'm all for that. His next match, however, will be against Brian Cage, where Brian Cage was paid money to injure Bryan Danielson. We have a backstage segment where finally they come out and say it. Saraya and Tony Storm say the problem with AEW is the homegrown AEW women. Hopefully solidifying a bad turn. I mean, it is, but, you know, keeping Saraya and Tony Storm on the bad side thing, which is good because I remember saying last week that something about Saraya's character I didn't like, and kind of felt that way about Tony Storm too. So I like the fact that they turned them to the bad side of things because I feel like they're easier to they're characters before everybody comes the fuck after me more than they already do. Their characters are easier to dislike. Especially Saraya, whose whole shtick was she came in and big leagued everybody else. So, cool. And what better way to solidify turn to the bad side than beating up lovable Willow Nightingale? Not the greatest match, but it didn't really need to be the greatest match. It needed to just establish this new group of villainesses. They won, they beat her down, and then we found out that Ruby Soho right now is not joining their stable and is staying with Willow.
It's the Ride Squad.
So what do you think of this decision, and what do you think of the potential that the ramifications rather that this may cause, having what seems like two new top baddies atop the women's division?
Like, this is going to confuse and conflict me as well, because it's like, okay, so are we now suddenly just going to be cheering for Baker and Jamie Hayter? Like, are they supposed to be the good guys then? Are the anti-heroes or something? Because I mean, or God forbid those two like join forces. Like, look, I got nothing against Britt and Saraya trying to create like a super team of villains here, or to quote a very weird TV show I used to watch, The League of Super Evil. I don't know about this one. I think like getting them bad was maybe too soon, because I don't know whether just TK's just looking into the Twitter ideas too much, or reading
Well,
the
I
IWC.
don't know how much he was, because I remember whenever I put out there that Saraya's character rubbed me the wrong way, pretty well getting attacked from all angles, going, "How can you not like Saraya?" So I don't know. The one thing I will say is whenever Saraya and Britt wrestled at Full Gear, Britt definitely showed she could be a lot more likable than Saraya.
She's not going to be the hero, though. They're not. It's a bad idea to make Baker the hero here, because I kind of like it when she goes into other cities and just completely roasts the crap out of them. And then she comes to Pittsburgh and a hero is welcome. Like, that is honestly how it should be done. It's like, I don't care if you're a hero or a villain. You're in your hometown. You're in your hometown. And same situation with MJF. He's a complete prick, but when he's in Long Island, it's his home.
I don't know how they're going to do it with Britt. I know Jamie Hayter for sure. People are ready to cheer for her. Britt, I'm not sure.
You know what?
It's going to be a little more difficult.
That, though,
but as far as to me, whenever I watched that whole build up to that match, Britt Baker, the person that roasts the crowd, was a likable person, and Saraya was 100% not. So,
you know what, my brain just hatched a better idea here. How about finally we can execute this? Britt turns on Jamie and joins forces with Saraya.
I don't think they should join forces. Britt has no...
Or like create like a little alliance. Like they're not a stable team. And
I don't know how I like that.
They have like
especially after how Saraya basically just told Britt Baker, the villainous, that everything you did was pointless because I did it in WWE. I'm not so sure how you put Britt Baker on her side. And also, just from a character perspective, I don't see how you put Britt Baker taking orders from Saraya and Toni Storm. And likewise, if you put Britt with them, I don't see Saraya taking orders from her. It'd be too many egos from a kayfabe perspective.
What about them trying to go after Jade Cargill then? Or is that also too much?
I don't
or we're basically looking at a mirror situation of Jamie versus whoever.
I don't know. I don't know. The whole division's a mess, and before anybody says it, bringing in Mercedes Moné is not gonna fix that.
Much as I love Mercedes, no. And also, happy early birthday to my birthday twin, Mercedes. Hey, Club 26. That's what I call it.
All right. Main event, TNT Championship match. Darby Allin versus Kushida. This was a really good match. Few things that didn't quite click right, but it was a good match. It's something the TNT title needed. I still, again, AEW shouldn't do what Ring of Honor used to do with the New Japan talent and just bring them in to beat their guys, but I also... There's a balance between bringing in there's a balance in, like, AEW does the balance the other way of just like, all right, we bring in New Japan people just to lose. So, but it is still a good title defense for the TNT title, which it desperately needs. It's been used poorly since Cody. So this is definitely something they need. Joe had it going on the right track. Hopefully Darby can keep the upward trajectory of the TNT Championship. And yeah, this. I definitely think the next time a New Japan guy comes in for a title match, I definitely think, unless it's like the world title, I definitely think the New Japan people are due for a win, a big win against an AEW star.
So who would your New Japan pick be then?
Oh, I don't know who it would be. I'm just saying, next time it happens, if you're gonna have a big, because Tanahashi came in, lost. Shibata came in, lost. Kushida's come in, lost. So right now, either kind of pull from your own pool. God knows you have a bunch in your own pool. And then, if down the road you can get Kushida for more time, Shibata for more time, Kenta for more time, Suzuki for more time. I know the big...
Ospreay?
No.
Screw you.
No, because Will Ospreay is probably going to be focused on his New Japan stuff. And probably not going to be coming in to be a regular part. Which leads to my next point. I know your big New Japan names are probably off the table. Your Okada, from a kayfabe perspective, does not care about any belts from any other company. He doesn't care about any other belts but one in New Japan, so he wouldn't give a shit about AEW's belts. So Okada's out of the equation. Probably not going to get a long run out of Tanahashi. Because that's something else with this. You got to get like a New Japan person that's going to be around for a little while. Maybe not a long time, but like a while. So you got to look, at the New Japan talent. Naito would not be around for that. You got to look at New Japan talent that New Japan would be willing to let come to AEW for an extended period of time, to have title defenses, to go from pay-per-view to pay-per-view, possibly, with the belt. So I'm looking at people like Suzuki, even though he's not under contract with New Japan, he can do whatever the hell he wants. But I'm looking at a guy like Suzuki. I'm looking at a guy like, Kenta. I'm looking at somebody like Katsuyori Shibata.
What about Lance Archer? We haven't seen him in a millennium.
He's somebody. He's in the AEW talent pool more than he is New Japan. I mean, he was in the G1, but he's an AEW guy. He's somebody that could just be used to do something. That again, as neat as this is, there's so many other people within this that's currently under contract with Tony Khan, that why not do something with them instead of pulling from an international talent base? You've got the talent. The talent is there. You have Lance Archer, you have Matt Sydal, you have Scorpio Sky. Where the fuck's he been?
Where the hell's American Top Team been too?
Where's you have lots of people that are already under your employment that could use these opportunities as well. And you don't build up New Japan enough to really make it seem like, So you don't follow New Japan super duper closely, do you not? This isn't a judgment statement. I'm asking you, like, how closely do you follow New Japan? Okay.
No, I would only maybe look up the results from Wrestle Kingdom, and that's it.
Okay. So, in your opinion, you just kind of only know in New Japan from when they come to AEW.
Yeah.
Does beating Kushida mean any more than beating Lance Archer? Or beating, Dalton Castle? Or beating Matt Sydal? Or beating Scorpio Sky? Or anybody else that's like already on their roster, like d- to does that hold more weight than that? You know, does that New Japan victory over New Japan guy hold any more weight, or is it just kind of the same?
I mean, it would be interesting though if you give it like a good little backstory and a background for this.
So most AEW fans, I mean, I know there's quite a few that did follow New Japan, but most AEW fans like
they're like exposing themselves bigger than what WWE and AEW try to do.
And that's fine, but you also got to take care of your own brand.
You know that both.
You got to take care. You got to take care of number one first and foremost. This I don't think is really expose anybody because most people that watch AEW, and I know this from going to AEW shows, when I mention New Japan, their knowledge of New Japan was being the Elite, and then when the Elite left New Japan, they don't know what's going on. They don't know Kushida. They knew Kushida from NXT. They don't know Shibata. Shibata was the guy that wrestled Orange Cassidy to most fans. So why not build it? If that's not doing anything more for your company, use who's in your company. Use who's in your company. You know, you went on the mass hiring spree, and Tony Khan hired so many people so other people wouldn't have them. Use them. You know, and then that's what I want to see more of. There's so many people on the AEW roster, I go, where's this guy been? Why haven't they done anything with this guy? Why isn't this guy getting an opportunity? And it's cool to see Kushida. And, okay, maybe, hey, here's a big win. He be, Darby be a New Japan guy. We need to move on from that. And we need to give more opportunities to who you already have in there. The people that are, wasting away on AEW Dark, and don't at me saying that AEW Dark is so amazing. If you think it's a good show, cool, but it's no... Being signed to AEW and the majority of your matches being on Dark isn't any better than being in WWE and most of your matches being on Main Event. It's not. I don't care what the company logo is. It's not. You got a lot of people that you can... You gave a lot of people contracts. Use them. Use your if you've already got, and I don't know the game of pro football, who's on what team that gray as I did when I was in high school, but if you've already got like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen on your team, why do you want to bring a one-day contract? Bring somebody. Why would you want to bring Tom Brady in for one game? You already got quarterbacks. You already got weapons. That's, And the only reason I don't think it's criticized is because it is a New Japan guy. And people, the section of the audience that does know the New Japan people are going to be like, oh, cool, a New Japan guy. So, Tony Khan needs to use his own guys more. There's so many people that could have benefited from being on TV in AEW a lot more than New Japan people did. And... Did you watch Rampage?
Unfortunately, no.
We'll do a quick AEW Rampage review.
I saw from the YouTube that, Brian Cage is back.
Yeah, he's wrestling Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. I know you mentioned it earlier, and it was like right after I... So, yeah, Cage is back.
Yeah. Alright, so... Quick Rampage review. First match was Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Ethan Page. Jungle Boy wins. Really good match. Brian Cage versus Willie Mack. I do like Willie Mack. Jade and Layla had essentially a squash. And then main event. First of all, they changed Mark Henry during the interview before he said, "It's time for the main event." Don't like it. Need to quit doing that. Need to quit doing it that way. Really good match. Action Andretti versus Daniel Garcia. Action Andretti won. They seem to have a lot in store for Action Andretti, and he's impressing. I didn't even know who he was until a few weeks ago. So that's the power of a win over the Ocho. And yeah, that is. Unless you got anything else you want to add, that is the show for this week.
I got nothing.
Yeah, that's the show. It was kind of, the Royal Rumble's the big thing. We got that going on. We will have a contest. It'll be posted probably in the middle of the week. So keep your eyes peeled to the social media for that. And thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. Follow me on my social media pages, also to enter the contest. At facebook.com/athleticgeek89, Twitter athletic_geek89, Instagram athleticgeek89. I'm on Patreon if you'd like to give me your money and improve the channel. Patreon.com/athleticgeek89. EZ, social media if you please.
Yes, follow me at the Twitter at Eric Zarin, DRIKZARINS.
Yep.
Talk wrestling or racing, especially the racing part, or especially the hockey. Because you want to talk about the hockey.
Nah, nobody wants to do that.
Yes, we do.
But for EZ, I am the Athletic Geek. We're just marks. And we're out. Y'all have a good one.